It's not very often that we actually get to sit down and do a Q&A session where you guys ask me your questions, because we're normally super busy out riding, shredding and putting bike content out. But whilst I'm injured, I thought this is the perfect time for you to pitch your questions and I can sit here and answer them for you. Before we dive into all the questions that you guys have been asking me on YouTube and Instagram, just a little notice about the merchandise. So quite a lot of you have been asking when you're going to receive your orders. They were done once again on a pre-order system. So today's Wednesday. I should be receiving the t-shirts in the next few days, and I expect that if you're in the UK, your orders will arrive around about the start of next week. And if you're abroad, obviously postal times are delayed a little bit, but they'll all be sent out by the end of this week. So anytime from then, expect your Send It t-shirts and hoodies to arrive in the post. Right, this morning I decided that a Q&A would be a good idea, so I put on my YouTube community tab and my Instagram stories a little box where you could pitch your questions for me. And all of you guys have been to work and there's some banging questions on here which I'm really excited to answer. So let's take a look at what the first one is. We're going to start with, when will you be fully recovered and back on a bike? That's quite a fitting question because my scan to check how my body is recovering, especially my spleen, is next Friday. So hopefully within the next week and a half, I'll be able to roll some wheels again. It's been such a long time, 3 months. It feels like it's been a whole lifetime, but there's been a lot happen in that time. There's been a lot of productivity off of the bike, setting up some exciting things for next year. The merchandise is something that's been new through that period of time. So as tough as it's been, there's been a lot of good things, but the next week and a half couldn't come any sooner. And I'm so excited to just ride, hit some jumps and do some tricks again. It's going to be insane. What's going to be your main aim when you get back to riding? So obviously I've had this period of time to reflect. My career has changed quite a lot in the recent years even. It's gone from focusing on contests, wanting to excel in that area of the sport. But as the whole YouTube channel's grown and I've found more interest and passion there, it's definitely going to be to keep sending big tricks, keep pushing myself. It's not to say I won't do the odd event here and there, but predominantly focusing on the channel and content and working with my sponsors and creating cool projects and just inspiring people. I think for me that's a real big reason why I ride, because I like to inspire people and the YouTube channel is such a fantastic way of doing that. And if I can create some awesome projects and work on some really exciting things, then hopefully that will inspire you guys and keep growing this channel and community which we're all a part of. As you'd expect, a lot of you guys have asked questions about the dream yard being destroyed recently, which is really sad. So I'm just going to sum it up rather than answering each individual question. I'm going to sum my opinion up. It's really sad. It's such a shame. I think that, you know, Sam is an inspiration to all of us and he's still an inspiration to me, and I think he's worked really hard throughout his career to have his dream set up, and it's just such a shame that it's not there anymore, because it's really good fun. And from my own experience, it is such a shame because I only actually got to ride the jumps once because of my injury. So it sucks that they're gone, and it sucks even more that I didn't really get to enjoy it as much as what they did. I mean, it was so cool getting amongst it. We did a video even not that long ago and it just looked so much fun and I was really excited to ride them, but unfortunately that won't happen, and I just hope there's something that can be sorted for the future. What do you feel like your biggest accomplishment as a professional mountain biker is, and something off the bike / non-bike related? So I think on the bike, it's unfair to select one particular achievement, because when I quit my full-time job for the first time, I agreed with my parents to just do a year and see where that would take me. And it's still going now, almost 10 years later, believe it or not. So obviously along that journey, there's been lots of little accomplishments and goals which I've set myself, such as the Action Sports Tour. Riding that was always a dream of mine, so that was a big one for me to tick off. Doing contests, winning events, making it to, you know, like the gold level of contest, that was always a big one. Going on road trips with Sam, I always was inspired by his videos, so to be so involved was a real big achievement. And there's been lots of different things, getting my first sponsors, and they're all little goals that I had along the way, so I can't particularly just pick one moment. Off the bike, that's really hard because I haven't really done a huge amount away from riding. I guess let's just flip the coin slightly. So still to do with riding, but off the bike, I would say my biggest accomplishments would be how I've helped Cara to build a career, because it's hard enough to make a career for yourself out of a sport or a passion or a hobby, and I feel a lot of pride in like the business side or like the career side of it, in that I've managed to not only build myself a career but also help Cara to build hers and build almost like a foundation for her. That I'd say is, from like a business point of view, if you want to use that term, that's like a big achievement for me, but it's still to do with biking, so I don't know if that counts. Passing my driving test. Do you need a manager that looks for sponsorship, or do sponsors come to you because you're that good? How stable is living off of it? When I saw this question, I was really excited to answer it. Depending on the rider, some riders have a manager, some don't. I personally don't have a manager because I like to look after all of my own contracts or deals, so I know exactly what's going on. Not only that, you obviously save the cost of a middleman, so you take more profit yourself. But having said that, it is also quite time consuming, and sometimes when there is a busy period and there's a lot of promotions and things going on, there's sometimes quite a lot to juggle because you are in effect doing someone else's job. As in answering the actual question, brands do, it's a mix. Brands do approach me. Obviously I have large channels, so they're interested in advertising, but you still do need to reach out to brands. And I'm forever pitching ideas and coming up with plans with my sponsors, because it's just wise. Even if you're in with the brand, you need to do a good job, and you know, the contracts are a period of time, and there's nothing to say you're guaranteed to get that at the end unless you're doing a good job. So you are always doing work. Like I say, some people like to have other people do it for them. I personally like to be in control of it and take it by the reins and organise all of my own stuff. As far as a stable living from it, yeah, I've done it for quite a while now, and I feel like it's in a really good place now. Touch wood, I don't want to jinx anything, but I feel like it's in a good place. My channels are in a good place, and I feel like I'm definitely in a sweet spot of my career. So for now, it's stable, but it is one of them things. The start of my career was so unstable, and I was having part-time jobs and this and that, and that's taught. I'm almost glad. At the time I wasn't, but I'm almost glad that it was like that for me, because even now I treat it as if I don't really have anything and work hard at it, because I know how easy the rug can be pulled from underneath your feet. So it's obviously not got the shelf life of a normal job. You have to make hay while the sun shines, but certainly for now there is stability there. Where do you see yourself in 5, 10, 15 years time? A world champion, question mark, doing a Brendog and going to Rampage and the Big Show, Downhill, World Cup, or becoming part of the GmbN crew? So as far as racing, I will never be a World Cup racer. Would never do Rampage. My competition days are done. Obviously, I had a career before YouTube, basically. So if a lot of you know me through YouTube, I did spend quite a lot of years, the past years, doing the FMB World Tour. Never got to diamond events, but the category below, doing the golds. And I put a lot of time, money, effort, energy into that. So I'm ready for the next stage, which is YouTube. This is what I enjoy. As far as going on someone like GmbN, unless my channel really didn't go to plan, then I could see myself being a presenter for someone else. But I feel like I'm in a fortunate position where my channel is a big asset, and having that means that I probably, as long as I keep working at it and growing, probably wouldn't have to go work for someone else's channel, fingers crossed. As far as where I see myself, hopefully doing this, hopefully with a bigger audience, hopefully inspiring more people. I want to continue to grow my brand or the merchandise store, and maybe one day even go down the route of coaching, running days at local bike parks where I can meet up and ride with you guys, and just keep growing the channel, inspiring, and turn the channel into like more of a community sort of thing, where people feel a part of it. They not just watch the videos and enjoy it, but they can join in and feel a part of it, and we can all shred bikes together and have a good time. That's where I'd like to be. How do you recommend going about getting sponsorships? Well, I would say the video content route, because basically I'll do a whole video on this soon, but just to summarize it very quickly, you have to have something to offer the brands. It's no good just going to a brand saying, I want, 10 sets of handlebar grips because I can do a double bar spin, because that doesn't benefit the brand in a way. A sponsorship is like a business deal. It's an agreement where you offer something and then they supply something in return. The saying in this world, nothing is free in this world, is very true. So try build something up which can be of value to a brand, pitch an idea, a project or something that you can offer them and that they would want to invest and be interested in. Suppose you never got into MTB, who do you think you'd be profession-wise? Well, by trade, in inverted commas, I'm a carpenter. I did 3 years at college, worked for a local company and sort of learnt the trade-ish, but at the same time, my career was progressing. So I never really fully qualified and became a full carpenter. And that's why I have a lot of interest in doing these build projects like the garage and the bike wash station and things like that, and building ramps, because that is still something I'm super interested in. And I really enjoy to test my skills and learn new things. I've got quite a good understanding of how things work, just never really pursued that qualification. But I was always quite keen to get out of a normal job. Luckily for me, obviously mountain biking was there and that was the route I went down. But I do think if I didn't ride or mountain biking wasn't an interest, then I feel like I would have definitely pursued something away from a normal 9 till 5. I'm quite an ambitious person and I like to work hard at things and achieve results, and especially things that aren't so normal to maybe do for a living. So perhaps I'm really interested in motorcycle racing, so perhaps some kind of journalism to do with that, or reporting, or photography and videography. I love that. There's loads of things that I perhaps would have gone into, but most likely around sport.
Tom, where are you most excited to ride when you get back?
I think that I'm really looking forward to just... It's so hard because even just then in my head I've gone through 3 or 4 different places on different bikes. So I'm just looking forward to getting back on a bike. Obviously I'm going to take it a little bit slower to start with. So I'll be out on the e-bike a lot, and I'm looking forward to I found such a good zone, which is really good for just trialing and jibbing around on the e-bike. And I'm so excited to just go ride there. It's like a little stream. And I can visualize the video now, so I'm excited about it, and I'm excited to go film it and share it. I'm excited to get on the jump bike. I want to just do a flip, I want to do a 360, I want to do a tail whip, and Corby's little scooter room is perfect, so the jumps are nice and small and it's good for the muscle memory again. I want to get on the downhill bike. There's so many different things. I've been like a caged animal for the last 3 months. I'm quite a highly strung person as in terms of doing stuff all the time, and to just be locked down like this really is quite a challenge. So once I sort of accept that I can ride again and I'm given the green light, I'm going to be like a raging bull.
I have an add-on as well to that.
Go on.
And will we see a front flip redemption?
Yeah, definitely. It's not put me off. What has put me off is, well, not put me off, but made me just aware is just to think about where I'm riding. I know that them jumps are quite scary to do them big tricks on. They're down a hill, they're quite small, even though I made it look quite big on the crash. They're quite small, and especially we'd been really busy, it probably wasn't the time to do that. So it was all on me, the crash. It wasn't necessarily, I've tried that trick once or twice in the foam pit, let's do it. I've done hundreds of front flips, and I know that if I had to do one for a project in a month's time, I could and I'd done a load in the foam pit or an airbag, I know that I could just practice, and I'd be full of confidence, and it would be so easy for me to go and do. So it's not put me off to do a front flip again. Right, final question. I could sit here all night and answer your questions because I find it really enjoyable, but what have you got for us, KJ? You got my phone now?
Do you have any goals that you haven't ticked off yet, whether that's travelling, riding related and things like that?
Yeah, I think definitely that's a good question to finish on. Definitely in my personal life, there's a lot of goals that I'd like to achieve. One of them, weirdly, is I'd like to build my own house one day. I think that'd be so cool to buy some land and build it yourself. And especially as I do have an interest in building stuff, it'd be really cool to be a part of that project. As far as riding goes, yeah, I still have goals that I want to achieve. I think, like I was saying, with my YouTube channel, I want to keep growing that, and I really enjoy it. I've always enjoyed inspiring people, and I just really want to continue to do that and work on awesome projects and put things out there which inspire people and give them the energy and the excitement to go out and get their bikes. Especially, I mean everyone, but especially the younger kids. When I used to do shows and you'd see how excited and stoked they are after you've done a performance, I think that's really rewarding, that you're sort of inspiring that next generation. Trips, California, I'd love to do a California trip. New Zealand, there's so many bike parks that I haven't been to, so pretty much any bike park which I haven't been to, which is a lot, I'd love to go there. And as far as tricks go, not necessarily perhaps learn any more tricks. Maybe if I had an airbag one day, I'd like to work on doing like a double flip just to do it. But I would say that having my own compound, having my own area to ride where I can build jumps and practice and have your mates over to have jams and stuff like that, that would be really cool. That's definitely on my list. On that note, I think we should wrap this video up. It's been really good fun. I could sit here and answer your questions all night, but we're going to end it there. Like I say, a week and a half till I can get back on the bike. I'm super excited. I've got so many cool video ideas and plans which I'm absolutely itching to film and upload to the tube for you guys to enjoy. So if you've enjoyed this one, give us a thumbs up, leave some comments below. Thank you very much for sending in your questions, and I will see you guys in the next video.